Officially a couple days away from 2024 Crown Jewel, and these are going to be my thoughts and predictions for 2024's Crown Jewel. And this card was looking pretty meh, but they've surprisingly made it super interesting. Outside of the 2 championship matches for the Crown Jewel match, every other match is interesting and has story, and I am so ready to deep dive into each match to give my thoughts and my predictions for every single match. But before we get into these predictions, remember to hit that like and subscribe button for more content. First match we're starting off is the Bloodline 6-man tag team match. And honestly, this story has been going on for a long time, and I kind of feel like they're finally starting to get good, especially because the OG Bloodline's coming back together. And this is just another stop for this team of the OG Bloodline versus the new Bloodline to face off against each other at Survivor Series. So I feel like the new Bloodline doesn't need this one. They more need the War Games match win than this one. And I feel like you gotta give Roman and them the win. I feel like they're not gonna give the new Bloodline a win just because you have the OG Bloodline back of Roman, of Jimmy, of Jay back together. So I do think that the OG Bloodline will win against the new Bloodline. And we get into Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. And supposedly from how I've liked this story of how they brought in Kevin Owens is that he's a different type of heel this time. He's not just doing it for business. They really made him this scary thing that like he's really different. He's not there all the way in the head. This is a different type of Kevin Owens, and that feels hurt, that feels betrayed from his friends. And then you have Randy Orton trying to get back at Kevin Owens because like, why the heck are you attacking us, attacking me and Cody? But we all know this is just going to lead to somehow down the road Randy turning on Cody. But I do think if you want to have a heel Kevin Owens, you do need him to win this match to continue on and face Cody Rhodes probably at the Rumble. But either way, I am still excited for this match because I know these two are going to cook in this match, and maybe this is not the last match between them, but I do think this needs to prolong the story because this is the right move, because for Kevin Owens here, he's going to win this match and then he's later on going to get involved in another match later in the night. Get to that later. But overall for this match, I'm very excited for it. The story has been great, loving the stuff they've been doing for Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, so I can't wait to see this match. But I am going with Kevin Owens to defeat Randy Orton. And we get into Bronson Reed versus Seth freaking Rollins, and I have loved this feud because they've been able to make Bronson Reed into this monster, this star that you can actually believe he beats people. But this whole story and this whole build up and this evolution of Bronson Reed started with him delivering 6 tsunamis to Seth Rollins to take him out because he was out for injury. Now him being back, this leads to the story of can Bronson Reed actually beat Seth Rollins and not sneak an attack. Seth Rollins is like, you really want to come after me, big boy? Okay, I'll make you famous. You know, because I feel like definitely do think this is just a feud to prolong Seth till WrestleMania against CM Punk, and I definitely think this feud can go all the way up to the Rumble. I think this could be a trilogy of matches all the way to the Rumble or even the Chamber, depending if CM Punk does win a title or something of those lines, if some things changes, you know. But overall, I do think Bronson Reed needs this first win to really solidify everything he's in, because I think Bronson Reed has elevated himself to become a star. He just needs that stamp of approval by beating Seth Rollins to be like, hey, I'm the best now. I got the name. I got everything. He needs to win this first feud if you want to continue it, and I think he needs this win. It's just to even prolong the story, because I think Seth is fine if he wins the feud, but the overall first match, Bronson Reed needs to win first match. So I'm going with Bronson Reed to defeat Seth Rollins, and hopefully in a banger of a match. Then we get into triple threat match for the US title of LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, and Andrade. Now this one, I'm very happy that we're getting it, because I've been wanting because Carmelo Hayes and Andrade have amazing chemistry together. Putting them both together with someone talented as LA Knight would be even more magic than Andrade and Melo by themselves. And just having it for the US title is so great to see. The US title being defended and finally being on a pay-per-view. Then also too, building up the mid-card division for the men's division has been great, and LA Knight has been a great champion. Even though I don't like how we got to the triple threat of LA Knight being involved in the Game 7 match, technically Game 7 didn't really and that's why I'm kind of puzzled on this, because you have 2 different routes you can go here that are both very interesting. Either A, you can have LA Knight retain the championship and probably go after WrestleMania to, I don't know, fight somebody or whoever on the SmackDown roster to face at WrestleMania for the title, or even like a 6-man tag match or 6-pack ladder match or whatever. LA Knight doesn't really have a career in that, so his WrestleMania plans are kind of unknown at the moment, but you do have a very interesting second route that you can go with this. That is letting Carmelo Hayes or Andrade win the US Championship, because it would be very interesting, because remember, they didn't finish Game 7 on SmackDown. It got interrupted by LA Knight, so there was no victory. So Game 7 basically got ruined. They still need to complete Game 7, and so it'd make it more interesting if Game 7, the final match, is for the US title, and whoever wins is the best, but also is the champion. So it would be so very interesting if they do that. But also, too, the Saudis love LA Knight, and I just feel like it's too soon for him to lose. I also just feel like they're not going to take the title off of him. Yeah, I feel like he's one of those people that are not losing the title until WrestleMania. I could be wrong, but hey, I am choosing LA Knight to retain his US Championship. Then we get into the fatal four-way match for the women's tag team titles of the champions of Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair facing Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, Lash Legend, Jakara Jackson, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane. And to me, I'm very excited for this match, because for the first time the Legend made the women's tag titles feel so since Jade and Bianca has been great champions, and I'm loving all these women getting all this time spotlight on just not even just on a pay-per-view, just time overall in general. And even though, yeah, the Saudi crowd may not give them the love and care for it, it's whatever. I'm just happy they're on a pay-per-view with all these women getting the time to shine and focus, because not a lot of women need to get on pay-per-view, so I'm happy that there's a lot on this. Let's do Jakara Jackson, Lash Legend, getting their first ever PLE. So happy for them. They're both so talented, and I cannot wait for them to showcase and show out in this match, and hopefully they get time to showcase and show out at Crown Jewel. But I think there's another team that's gonna end up dethroning them. Even though I would love to see Io and Kairi as your women's tag team champions, I do think that Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill will somehow, in some way, will retain. Get into the very first ever women's Crown Jewel championship match of Nia Jax and Liv Morgan. And honestly, I don't give a flying crap about this match at all. To me, I don't care about it, because Liv and Nia are both not defending the titles on this pay-per-view. Not doing no feuds where they could be building different feuds, and it feels like this is more focused on just if Tiffany is gonna cash in or she isn't. And I can't really say who's gonna win this, because there's only real two options you have in this match, and it's either that Tiffany does cash in, but then it's like, how does she cash in? Do they do it after the match where one of them leaves the ring and they cash in? Are they gonna do it where maybe both of them and Tiffany becomes a double champ? I wouldn't really mind that, but it's kind of, I just don't think she's cashing in right now. I think they're going to save them maybe until Survivor Series, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, because Nia does have a title defense against Naomi that she has to do probably for Survivor Series, so I don't see Nia losing the title here. I just really do not care as much for this Crown Jewel Championship. There's just so much more confusion about not being defended for the rest of the year. It's only a Crown Jewel thing, and it's just kind of like Nia has more cons of people invading her match, plus too with Rhea being injured now. Can't kind of rule her as a possibility no more, so I think I'm going with Liv Morgan, could be first ever Crown Jewel Women's Champion. And then next, that's Gunther versus Cody Rhodes for the first ever Men's Crown Jewel Championship, which another match. Honestly, I think Gunther's just winning this because it's so obvious that Gunther's winning this just because Cody bringing his daughter into it, and then Kevin Owens being being a heel, and Cody just completely dismissing and throwing Kevin Owens to the side. Randy Orton's dealing with Kevin Owens, so it's so obvious that Kevin Owens is going to come in, cost Cody the match, and that's going to build to their Survivor Series match. But either way, we're here, we have to choose a winner, and I'm choosing Gunther to become your first ever Crown Jewel champion. Predictions for Crown Jewel: I think a lot of these matchups, except for two, are going to be very interesting and can continue many interesting stories and start new ones. I'm just very interested to see what happens this year at Crown Jewel. Let me know your thoughts and predictions down below, and hit the like and subscribe button. We'll just have to wait and see what happens this year in Crown Jewel of 2024. But for now, see you all in the next one.